Do you have to take action in order to manifest? Do you have to take action to bring the thing that you want in so much? And the answer I'm going to tell you is no, you do not. You have to be in the energy of the thing. You have to be in the energy of I have the thing and I love the thing and the thing is amazing and it's like better than I thought it could have been. That is going to manifest it and bring it to you. That like magnetic, that like feeling state of like exuberance and like excitement, that is going to bring it in and going to bring it in quickly and going to bring it in easily. Hey guys, it's Arwen. So today I want to tell you all a manifesty story. So for the longest time I have been wanting a house, manifesting a house, feeling the feelings of having a house. I've been flipping in and out of I have the house, oh I'm mad I don't have the house. I have the house, I'm mad I don't have the house, right? Back and forth, back and forth. And I have had 3 near misses of almost buying a house in the past little bit over a year, right? And every single time that I have found the correct house, it's because I've been in a high vibe, super excited, like manifesty state, right? So I have been in the correct timeline where the house exists because I've been happy and appreciative and feeling that like, that like delicious, exciting, happy energy, right? So the first house that I found, well, one of them, the second one, actually it's the second one. I remember I was really wanting an extra $10,000. I was like, oh my goodness, it'd be so much fun if $10,000 came in quickly and it came in easily and it came in so fast and like, ooh, I would love that. I would love that, right? So then I'm randomly having a great time. My friend and I are out yard sailing and we decide to go down this one street and we're down the street. It's in our favorite neighborhood. And there's an estate sale and we go inside and we each buy a couple of things and then my intuition tells me it's like, hey, you should go back to that house. You need to ask that lady if she wants to sell that house. And I was like, subconscious, that's a great idea. I should do that, right? So the next week I go back on the Sunday. I'm like, they're probably going to be there on the weekend. You know, obviously somebody's passed. So I go back and I'm like, hey, you know, do you want to sell this house? You remember me? I was here last week. She's like, oh yes, you were so sweet. I remember you. And she's like, actually, yes, I really want to sell this house. I was like, of course you do. Great. Okay. So this lady's mother had passed and she actually lived one street over and was actively looking to sell the house. Unfortunately, the house needed like a massive amount of repairs and it was over my head and I didn't know what to do. And so I was like thinking about what to do. And then I called one of my friends that does like a lot of real estate deals and flips houses and whatnot and has rentals and the whole thing. So he comes over and he looks at it. And he wanted to knock it down because the house was like that bad. It needed like a significant amount of work. Like it was like hot wired. It was bad. It was really a tear down. And I became conflicted over this, right? Because I was like, oh, I knew that like the lady and I really liked the lady and I thought like she would be devastated if, you know, her mother's house was knocked down and I just wasn't in alignment. But what was going to happen if he did buy the house was I was going to get $10,000 for finding the house, right? And so I had only been feeling the feelings in my body of making a quick $10,000 for like a couple of weeks. It wasn't even that long. And then the house came in and it came in very quickly. And I didn't do anything to like find this house. I wasn't like getting up and like taking action to find the house. You know what I mean? I was just doing whatever I wanted and feeling blissful and happy and ran right into it. Okay. So when you are in that feeling state of I have the thing and I'm so happy I have the thing because I was feeling the feelings of how happy I was to have the $10,000 and how I was just going to add it to my down payment for the house that I'm going to buy and all this stuff. That is when the house came in and it came in because I was in the appropriate timeline, right? It came in because I was feeling the feelings of I already have it and feeling so blissful and feeling so happy about it. And what ended up happening is he did not end up buying the house, somebody else did. And I could feel like it was this like opening of like there's a reality where he ends up buying the house, you get the $10,000, and then there's a reality where it doesn't happen. And I became so conflicted over the house needing to be knocked down and her being upset that I dropped the energy. I didn't get the manifestation because I dropped my energy. What I needed to do, and if I could do it again, I would have maintained my energy even when this conflict occurred, right? So this happens all the time in manifestation. We're like creating something and we're like on a roll, and then something occurs that knocks us off kilter, and then we don't get back on the manifestation horse, right? Like we don't get back on the feeling appreciative. All I actually could have done is I could have just continued to appreciate finding the house, appreciating that it was a good price, appreciating that, oh, maybe I could do something completely new, because I still probably could have thought of a solution where I could have knocked down the house and built one myself. Like, there were different things that could have happened here. Could have built a duplex. But anyway, I could have been in the feeling of appreciative, all the things that were happening and going on, and that would have created, a different scenario or a different idea to occur to me, or somebody to have a different idea, right, that would have made everything shift and would have made it happen, okay? So I was in the reality of receiving the $10,000, in the reality of possibly receiving the house as well, and then I did not maintain my energy, dropped out of it. Somebody else ended up buying the house, and the person that owned the house really liked me. For whatever reason, she really liked women and didn't like men. That's just kind of the vibe that I picked up from her. So she really wanted to sell it to me, but I was having issues with the price and the amount of work that it needed, etc. I didn't need to have those issues. I could have stayed in the vibe of appreciating that it magically worked out, appreciating how easy that it was, and oh my God, everything worked out. I'm on the other side of this. I figured out the solution. I figured out the solution. I figured out the solution. That would have been ideal for creating the perfect scenario in that situation, but I dropped out of the frequency of appreciativeness and miracles, and I dropped my frequency, and this is totally my fault. My reality is a complete reflection of what is going on in here, right? And I dropped out of the frequency of miracles, and I dropped down into the frequency of, oh my goodness, I don't want her to be mad at me because I knocked down her house, and then being in conflict. So I dropped down into conflict, and I'm not sure what to do, and what do I do, and that I'm not sure, right? And so here we go. We have another cat. So it was totally something that I could have manifested differently, but I would have needed to maintain my vibration in order to do that. I would have needed to have a hold of myself in order to make it happen, and I did not. Now, the whole thing of this video was I was going to talk about, do you need to take action to manifest? And the answer is no. The answer is no. I can't tell you how many things I've manifested by just randomly walking into it. I was just living my life, doing whatever I wanted to do, and then I was there's the thing. Just literally I smash into it. You know what I mean? It's I couldn't miss it if I tried. And when you are staying in the timeline, and when I say staying in the timeline where the thing is, what I mean is feeling the feelings in your body of you having the thing, emotionally cultivating and bringing forth those feelings of, I'm so happy I have it. Oh my God, it worked out in the best way. I am so lucky. I'm so lucky this happened. I'm so happy this happened. This is the best thing ever. Oh, I can't wait to decorate it. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to arrange it this way because I already have it, right? That is the energy and that is the frequency of manifesting the thing, because you're walking around you already have it. I'm I have that. I have that. I have that, right? And anything that drops you out of that frequency, you kind of fall out of the timeline. But it's not that big of a deal. You just go back into the timeline, and you do that with your feelings. You do that with your feelings, okay? The way I manifest is through my feelings. Through feeling the feelings of how much I love the thing and I appreciate the thing, and the thing is here and it came faster than I thought it would, and all of those things. And in that way, you can manifest. But there are different ways to manifest, but if you're going to do it through feelings, you have to continuously bring your feeling back, bring your feeling back, bring the feeling back to the desired state that you want, even though your circumstances are not reflecting it back to you, right? Because you have to go first. You have to go first. You have to feel the feelings inside of you and cultivate that feeling state, right? And then your whole world will reflect it back to you. Changing the light and information inside of you changes the light and information outside of you, okay? Feeling the feelings of having the thing causes circumstances and events to all shift around and change to bring you the thing. And you do not need to actively take action. You need to do the things that you feel good at and do the things that make you feel joyful, and really just follow your bliss and your joy. Because when you follow your bliss and when you follow your joy, you are in your highest timeline. That's so critical. When you follow your bliss and when you follow your joy, you are literally in your highest timeline. And that is all you have to do is stay in your highest timeline. That is your full-time job. Your full-time job is to feel as good as possible, right? To feel that feeling of like pleasure and extreme happiness and like overflow. And if you're not in that feeling, your job is to bring yourself to that place. It literally just snaps you to your highest timeline. I woke up today, I felt good, not stellar. And then I started feeling guilty about how I was like, some people would love to feel as good as you feel today, and here you are like feeling sad about the fact that you don't feel fucking up on top of the world, right? And then I stopped myself and I was like, no, I don't need to feel guilty or bad that like lots of people don't wake up feeling this good. You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing? I'm beating myself up for waking up and feeling good but not good enough. Like, what? And I immediately realized I was doing that and stopped doing that. I realized it. I woke up in the dream. The light went on and I went, oh. Not doing that today. Not doing that today. I have lots of affirmations I have written down to bring myself to a place of joy and happiness inside me, and I immediately started reading them. I got up, started water manifesting, and reading the affirmations I've written down, feeling the feelings in my body of already having the thing, holding my water and stirring it around. So I'm stirring the water and I'm feeling the feelings of how I'm so blissful and happy that I have this and this and this and this. And I'm thinking of things I have and I'm thinking of things I don't have, but I'm feeling the feelings as if I have all of them whether they're here or not, right? So then it really, you guys, it wasn't even that long. It was like 5-6 minutes. Like I totally changed my entire emotional state. My entire emotional state flipped up into a higher frequency just from my focus. And just from a few minutes of focus. If you would do a test of focusing your mind and feeling the feelings that comes from focusing on things that make you happy and pleasurable and joyful, and like really cultivating that like you would cultivate a garden and watering it, you would be astounded at how better you can feel, how fast. Right? And if you need to do it several times a day, dear Lord, do it several times a day. The most effective thing that I know to do, because I've just done so many manifesting things, ceremonies are one. Ceremonies, super helpful, fucking love ceremonies, always gonna do those. The other thing that I will do as well, like, is my water manifesting and like doing it multiple times a day, cultivating and bringing those feelings in my body and programming the water with my thoughts and my feelings of how well everything is going, how easy everything is going, how much I love my life, how lucky I am, how fantastic I feel, like how appreciative I am of like this and this and this and this. You could just go on rampages of appreciation and stir water and feel it and literally change your whole life and only do that. Literally like only do that. But you have to like wake up in the dream every time you find yourself focusing negatively. You have to go, wake up. Wake up. We're in a matrix. We're in a dream. Let's not focus in a way that we don't need to, right? And bring your focus back to, oh my God, things are working out so well. Things are working out so well. That is going to change your life. I'm going to tell you, you do that multiple times a day, like for like 3 to 5 minutes. I'm telling you, things are going to work. There's like no way that it can't. So, how long ago was this? This is a few years ago. And I was at my job and I had wanted to manifest $800 in one day. And that to me just seemed like ridiculous at the time. I do that all the time now, right? But at the time I had never done that. And I was like, ooh, I want to do that. And I remember I got out my water bottle for work because I always take like this large canteen water bottle. And I had written down some affirmations of how happy and joyful I would feel, the thoughts I would be thinking and the feelings I would be feeling if I manifested $800 in one night, and how delightful that would make me feel. So I had it written on my phone, and it was only about this many affirmations, right, on my notes app. It wasn't anything stellar. And then what I would do is every day before I went to work, I would put on my timer, and I felt the feelings, and I put the timer on for 2 minutes, and I would read the affirmations, and then read them over, and then read them over, and then read them over, and feel the feelings in my body of how amazing it would feel to have that $800 at the end of the night, okay? And so I just did that in my water every single day before I went to work. I meant to do it for 10 days, I only did it for 7, I just forgot. I don't know how I forgot, I just forgot. And then on day 10, I went to work and I made over $800. I think it was like $835 or something. And it was just like this weird serendipitous events. Like, I was working at a restaurant and I had a table that was like a 6 top, and what happened is this other person came in and this person paid for the 6 top. So the 6 top tipped me and the other person tipped me on their bill. Plus I had all the other tables that I had too. And it ended up being $835. And I remember I was so happy. I was like, yes, I did it. I didn't even have an extreme amount of belief that I could do it, but I didn't have a lot of resistance either. I was kind of like doing it for fun, just to like see if it would work, and it worked. And of course it worked. And that was back when I was doing like a lot more experimenting with manifesting. And now like I'm wanting to do larger things like the house. And the only thing I'm noticing with the house is that like, it's like I get up into that energy and then a house comes and then something happens and I'm not sustaining the energy enough to actually buy the house, own the house, etc. But I feel like the next house is going to be the one, because this has happened like 3 times now of like near misses with the house. You know what I mean? And all of them have been fantastic deals. Absolutely fantastic deals, because I only want a fantastic deal. And I keep saying, I get a fantastic deal. It's stellar. You know what I mean? And yeah, because like I'm not interested in paying too much for anything. Like that's just not my vibe. I'm just going to magically manifest a house and it's going to be great. And that is what it is. So I just keep saying and I keep affirming about how lucky I am and how the most perfect house comes. And I love it. And it's my dream house and it's the perfect size and the cats love it. And I can have my garden and I can do all the things that I want to do. And like how like high vibe and like jazzy that it feels, and it's exactly where I want it to be. And like you can see as I talk about it and my energy about it, how like happy and excited and exuberant I am. That is what is needed for manifesting. You need to be in that state, and your job is just to be in this sort of high vibey manifesting state all the time. And as soon as you realize that, you're like, oh my God, why was I making it so hard? Why was I making it so hard? It's not fucking hard. It's really not. Just like being in bliss and being in happiness and doing the thing that makes you feel the most joyful is going to put you in your highest timeline, and then all your shit's in that timeline. Sign me up for that. So into that. So into that. So into that. All right, guys. I hope you like my manifesting chat today. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.